All right, in this segment, I'm going to show you guys the HDRBaker scene right here. And what this is used for is, let's say you build a cool looking light setup here. Let me just get this rendering. Here's a nice little light setup. We got a couple, 3 softboxes. We got a spotlight. We have a skylight. Everything's looking the way we want it. And what this HDRBaker allows us to do is take all the lights in the scene. So let me back out of here. Actually, I'll turn the camera off. It's going to bake all these lights in the scene here into your own custom HDR that you can then use to light other stuff in other scenes. So let me show you how this works. You have your scene here, and all you have to do is double click on the HDRBaker to include it into your scene. And then you have to shut off anything that you don't want baked into the scene. So in this case, we don't want the text here to be baked. In your scene, it's whatever you don't want baked. Usually it's just the lights you want on. So I'm just going to shut off our textures here. And what we're left with is this sphere, which is our bake sphere. And what this is going to do is bake the scene. So I have this baker tag right here. If you open up the step-by-step instructions, you could follow along as well. But what this shows is the first thing it shows is where we're going to save it. So you want to save your file. Click on File Name. And in this case, I'm just going to go to Desktop. I'm going to call this one 3 softboxed and 1 spotlight. So really generic name here, but this way we'll just know what it is. Everything else is set up for you. All you have to do is go into the Options tab right here and then hit Bake. Now, in the instructions, there's one other thing you have to go check, and it's in your render settings. You want to make sure your anti-aliasing is at least turned to best, and then 1 by 1 by 2 by 2 right here. If you want to go crazy, you can also go 4 by 4. This is just going to give you a cleaner bake when you go to bake this object. So now when we click Bake, you're going to see it start to bake here. And this is it bakes a pretty big file. So you can see how long it does take quite a few minutes sometimes to bake this, but you can see the progress right here going down. And what you're going to be left with is an HDR that you can then bring back into the scene and light any other of your scenes. So we'll let that bake here, and when we get back, what we'll do is actually we'll use this HDRBaker object that we're making in this HDR sky, which is what we're going to talk about next. So why don't you go ahead and just jump to the next video, which will be the HDR sky video, and then I'll show you what you can actually use this for. So I'll see you over there.